Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, March 3rd. It is 6:13 right now, I believe, West Coast time, currently in Dominican Republic. So it's actually like 10:13 right now. Let me finish setting up this room real quick and then we'll get started with our analysis for today. Hopefully the connection's good enough for me to live stream, but if not, I'll make the best of it. I think it's here. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. We are good to go. So as people start to join in, or to the main chart, start marking up liquidity over here. I'm not going to mark up too much because I don't have enough space currently, at least not yet. So hey guys, morning everybody. Today is Monday, March 3rd. It is 6:16 right now, West Coast time, 10:16 my time, Punta Cana. Um, I'm gonna try to set this up real quick. The time difference just kind of throws me off because it's a 4 hour difference. Yeah, let me just get all this stuff kind of marked up here for liquidity. So I took one trade and I'll show you guys right now. I took one trade pre-market. It was an MPSV2, came up pretty nice, and there's just a lot of confluences, so I decided to take it. Uh, I'll show you guys my profits too. My profits aren't as much because I'm only trading my Apex accounts on Tradovate. I didn't bring my Ninja laptop, so I'm not able to trade all my accounts. I wasn't sure how the internet was going to be here. It's actually pretty decent. Um, but yeah, you guys will see here my entry that I took not that long ago. I think we're good. I think we're good. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. It's still kind of early, so I don't think people have made it onto the stream yet. But let's see who's here so far. Morning, Maria. Morning, Christian. Yeah, no, definitely Christian. I'm actually here for a bachelor party, so no wife on this trip. Everyone actually left already, so I'm like the only one left. I have like the latest flight. Um, so I'm gonna be on this live session for like about an hour, and then I'm gonna try to catch my ride to the airport. Hey, sir. Morning. But yeah, guys. So I basically took this here pre-market. I just got kind of bored because I was waiting for, market to open, but the time difference here, I just kind of been on the charts for like the past couple hours. So basically there was an MPS V2 that came up right here. I didn't take this. I wanted to, but I didn't have my Trade of 8 set up yet. There was one right here. It was at the session, so I kind of skipped that one, but I did take this one right here. So there was a buy signal, price pushed above. I had the buyers in control from this point down here. Um, Buy signal, retracement, closed above. and then I enter it right here. So I just took one trade. It's across my Apex accounts. Trading with Trade of Eight, you're kind of capped. So I believe I can only take 5 contracts per account, 100 contracts total. So I was only able to lock in like about, I think, 6,500, which I mean isn't horrible. I mean, I can't complain. It was a solid trade. It like went straight to TP, no drawdown, and I got in and out pretty quickly. Hey David, morning. Morning, Glenn. All right, cool. Looks like yeah, majority of people are making the money. It's so I only have one screen today, guys, so I'm kind of like jumbling around uh to share the screen space. I think I'm only streaming my trading view, but I got like so many windows open here for Zoom and I got the YouTube and all that stuff. But well, we'll start off with our analysis pretty soon. So 6:19 right now. We got market opening up in about 11 minutes. Again, I've marked up these MPS V2s. I was just looking at them as they came up this morning. I took one of them right here. And let me get my phone real quick. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of the profits so that you guys can see. So let me get the screenshot of my profits. Let's see, Twitter sync. To the Discord. Okay. Hey CJ, morning. All right, so let's see. Looks like people are still making their way, and it's still pretty early because I got on a little earlier than usual. But here, I just posted my profits in the Discord. Man, I got like no screen. Here, let me see if I could adjust this. Trying to figure out. Okay, so here's my Discord. Switch. Here is the Discord, and here are my profits from that trade. So, like I said earlier, guys, I took this one trade right here, this one MPS V2 on this side, and then I locked in my profit here, where I locked in only 20 trades because my 20 Apex accounts, I was only able to take 5 contracts. So this should have been like times 3, basically like 20,000 almost. But I locked in 6,500. Took the MPS V2, and that's pretty much all I took there. We'll keep looking for some more entries. Market's gonna open up in about 8 minutes, so we'll kind of see where that goes. But yeah, I need to keep shifting around my screens because I don't have much screen here. There we go. Solid. Yeah, Maria said sometimes those trades go to next session or structure. Yeah, that's kind of where I was aiming for. And Maria took a screenshot over here as well. I was kind of aiming, I was looking for structure for it to reach. So I was kind of reaching for this area or this area up here actually. But then I just ended up getting out a little early because I was like, okay, I'm gonna ride it up to here. But the volume was so low around this time, it was just kind of going back and forth. And I ended up just taking the full TP for 20 points. But I was trying to go for that structure that you mentioned, Maria, like basically around this area. I was looking for confluences here too for a price to reach, like looking at the market profile, but I just didn't really see anything up here that I was necessarily aiming for. I mean, I was gonna possibly aim for like the upper levels here, but it's kind of far off. So I just took what I can get. I don't like when there's low volatility. And the money was getting close to market open as well. So profit's profit, and probably could have held on to it for a little bit longer. All right, so let's see. Hey, Lila, morning. Yeah, thank you. No, definitely. Glad to be back. It was kind of weird not being able to trade with you guys past couple of days. Luckily I made some profit on Friday. I was able to close out the week, or on Thursday actually, close out the week, close out the month green. So that was all that mattered. But all right, guys, we got market opening up in about 6 minutes. Let's see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Hey, Sam. Yeah, no, definitely had a little too much fun. I'm ready to go home. Ready to get off, get back to the routine. But anyways, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, March 3rd. It is 6:24 right now. Market's gonna open up in about 6 minutes. Looks like majority of people are here so far. I've marked up liquidity. I'm not gonna put the labels on it because I just don't have a lot of screen available. I only brought one laptop and one screen for this trip, so I'm doing everything on one screen today. But anyways, I marked up these MPS V2s that came up today, guys. I was going to take this one, but I wasn't logged into my Tradeovate. I wanted to take this one, but it was at the sessions. And then I finally took this one right here. And this is the one that actually hit for me. So it was perfect. There was like no drawdown, literally just closed on that candle, went up straight to TP. And that's how I locked in the profits that I posted on my Discord. So let me see if I could change the screen again. Yeah, so these are my profits right there. It says 20 trades because I only took 20 trades on my Apex accounts. I don't have my NinjaTrader laptop, so I couldn't trade the hedge accounts, couldn't trade Tradeify or any of those. I just took them on one account, and they played out pretty nice. So solid win right there, with a cap of 5 contracts. I usually trade, I think, 10 to 15. So, basically would have been 3 times the profit if I was on my regular laptop. But all right, guys, so let's take a look and see what we got over here. So for the breakout for the day, it looks like it's possibly going to be a sell. I mean, we'll have to wait and see when the 629 candle comes up, but it's looking like a possible sell here. So if you guys are looking to take the breakout, I'll mark it up for you guys. I don't know if I'll take any trades myself because, like I said, I'm on one screen, so I can't really go between. It's gonna be hard for me to execute trades and follow it on Tradeovate while giving you guys an analysis. So I'll probably just do analysis. I already made profits for the day, so I'm pretty satisfied with what I locked in. But taking a look at all the overall trend right now, the 4 hours currently switching to bullish. 1 hour is bullish, 30 minutes bullish, 10 minutes bullish, 5 minutes bullish, and the 1 minute here it was bullish, but it's shifting back to bearish. So we'll kind of see what happens here as price continues to. Oh shit, sorry guys. I know it's there we go. Thanks guys for letting me know. But yeah, so anyways, let me just go back to my analysis here. So looking at uh the overall charts, looking over here on the 4 hour, you can see prices above the pivots. This shows that price is shifting to a bullish trend. The 1 hour over here is above the pivots. The trend meter is green, pivots are angling up. So on the 1 hour it's bullish, 30 minutes bullish, 10 minutes bullish, 5 minutes bullish. And the 1 minute over here was bullish, but it shifted back down a little bit for retracement down here. So if it does correct back up, we'll probably be in a bullish bias for the day. Looking at the breakout for the day right now, currently it's looking like a sell, but if we get a buy signal in the next, I guess, 2 minutes or so, we could possibly shift this back up to a buy. But right now it's looking like a possible sell. It's going to be against the trend bias, but again, you don't have to follow the trend bias. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to for sure go up, but odds are it's probably going to go up if we have more confluences in that direction. I'll put the sellers in control here right now. So I'll basically put sellers in control from this point at 607. Price has been coming down since then. Looking over here at the market profile, we have price currently at the value high. So this means price is a little overpriced right now. If price does come back down, it's likely to come back down to the point of control, which is this green area right here. So that's going to be like maybe one of the targets if price does continue to drop or if the breakout is for a sell. And I hate that the zoom's like blocking on my whole trading. Yeah, it's like blocking my tabs. And then again, right here, looking at the 30-minute market profile, we currently have a bounce off the value high right here. So if price does continue to bounce off here and it continues to be bullish, the next target is going to be this value high right there. Otherwise, if price ends up coming below this point, there could be another scenario here. If price comes below it, it'll probably come back down to the point of control, maybe retest it, and then come down to the value low right here. So it's a little bit of a mixed analysis for the day. We don't really have much of a bias. What I tend to tell people is don't be stuck with one bias, right? It's good to have a bias, but be uh be open to flipping your bias if like the confluence is moving a different direction, because it's not always going to be a buy and it's not always going to be a sell. It's going to be back and forth. Sometimes buys will be ideal, sometimes sells will be ideal, but at this very moment we're kind of gonna want to wait for the market to open up, and then we'll kind of go from there. So looking at this here, guys, the breakout for today is a sell. Looks like, if you guys want to take it again, overall trend is bullish, so it's kind of conflicting with the breakout. However, um, the market profile is showing that price is a bit overpriced right now, so price might come down for a little bit, enough to hit CP at least. We got market opening up in about 20 seconds. And we also have news at 6:45 and 7 o'clock, I believe. Let me check. Yeah, we have high impact news today. We have global services PMI, inflation news, and then we have ISM services, manufacturing PMI, basically inflation news, at 6:45 and at 7 o'clock. So thanks, Christian. I will mark that up as well. And here we go. Market is now open. So breakout's currently running in profit, guys. Um, Let me mark up the news for today. 6:45 news right there. That's 7. So I'll probably be on this live session until the cleaners kick me out. I think checkout is supposed to be at 11, so I'll try to be on for like maybe another 30 minutes to an hour. Um, but yeah, we'll try to get some trades in before then. Hopefully. But we got price currently at the sessions right now. So price is bouncing off the sessions. This is why the sell would have been a little tricky for the breakout, because obviously, when price gets near these sessions, this is an area of manipulation. You can see how price came down very sharply, bounced directly off it, and now it's pushing back up. At this point in time right now, we can maybe say that the buyers are trying to be back in control from this point. I wouldn't necessarily say they are in control, but we'll just kind of mark this up here just in case. Otherwise, the sellers have been in control since 6:08, 6:07, 6:08. So breakout's still running. I'm going to go over here and mark up opening price. I'm not in the breakout, but for those of you who are looking to take it, it was just in a tricky area, like I said, because of the sessions down below. But we'll kind of see what happens here. So we have a current buy signal that's pushing price up. If that's the case, and we have this this buy to the upside, I'll have the buyers in control from here. And then possibly some MPS V2s coming up, once this candle here closes. We pushed up right here, knocked out the liquidity. I'm gonna leave the liquidity there for right now, just to see if we have like some sort of fake out or if it comes back down. Otherwise, if it keeps pushing above it, then I'll just delete it and we'll remove this and look for possible buys from here. Okay, so looking at market profile, price bounced directly off the value high, and possible target area. Well, it's already there almost. There we go. Possible target area right there. There's a lot of confluences right here. So we have rejections off value high on the 30-minute, rejection off the value high on the 1 minute, rejection off the whole number right here off the 44,000. And now we're getting a rejection off the top end. There is a resistance zone right here. Off the SRs. All right. So there's no entries for us right now. I mean, obviously we want to wait for this here to kind of stabilize a little bit. Okay, so price, like I said earlier, I was going to leave the liquidity right there. Price pretty much went up, grabbed liquidity, and then it came right back down. So I was leaving the liquidity here to see if this fake out would play out, right? Fake out and then come right back down. So we might be in a pretty big range here. I mean, it seems like the range is probably going to be around this upper area to the sessions, which is about a 100-point range. Fair enough. Uh, yeah, I hate trading on one screen. It's tough because I got so many things blocking everything. Let's see, I'm gonna turn this off. All right, so looking at this here again, guys, we just have price kind of going back and forth between basically this upper level liquidity. I'm going to take this one off because it's kind of unnecessary, but you guys can see where the range is kind of bouncing from right now. It's bouncing from basically this upper area and the sessions down here. So it's just a pretty big range. Obviously, we're going to expect price to leave this range, but we'll have to wait for that to confirm. So if this candle here closes, guys, this is going to be an MPSV2. These candles are pretty big though. So, this is, I would say take it at your own risk if you guys do want to take it. Um, I think the candles here they're just a little too huge. Like I said before, guys, whenever you have an entry like this, if your stop loss is bigger than the previous candle, you probably want to skip out on that because if price retraces back, it's going to stop you out before it pushes up in a lot of cases. So I would just hold off on any entries here right now. Wait for the market here to stabilize a little bit because you don't want to get caught in these whipsaws, right? These candles here are just way too big. Um, yeah, each candle here is like about 50 points. So, if your stop loss is 30 points, you're probably gonna get stopped out before it pushes back up and hits your TP. Or if you want to wait, you can wait as well and get in late. So like right here, if you wanted to get in now, you could probably get in now at this point. But again, like I said, I would probably just wait for this here to stabilize a little bit because you can see how smooth the market was moving here pre-market in comparison to right now. It's just huge chops right here. Eventually it'll calm down. It's just gonna take some time. You guys got to keep in mind today is Monday as well. Mondays and Fridays are usually like the days where a lot of manipulation happens in the market. Reason for that's because people are re-entering the market from the weekend, and obviously on Fridays people are exiting the market for the weekend. People typically don't hold futures contracts over the weekend because anything can happen, and the margin's like super super expensive. So it's hard to hold YM overnight, and over the weekend even worse. So here we go as price pushes back up. Like I said earlier, guys, the overall bias here for the trend was bullish, right? So I said, we're probably going to be looking for some bias here overall. And now this is confirming it's confirming that because now price is pushing up. So we'll see. Again, these candles here are huge. This candle again right here, measure it. This is a 60-point candle. ATR is currently at 26. So these 60-point candles aren't necessarily the average, right? We're just having these outliers here. Some candles are smaller, some candles are huge. Um, but yeah, I'd probably just be a little careful. There's a V1 variation. So looking at this here, this could be considered, again, the candle is too big, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend taking it, but this looks like it would be an A++ setup because we had V1 engulfing, MPS V2, V1 engulfing right here as well. So this would be an MPS V2, but like I said, the candles are like super huge right now, so I don't know if I personally would take the risk. You got to keep in mind that there's going to be more trades. So there's no need to force anything right now. Like it might take some time for the market to stabilize, but eventually, the market will stabilize and it'll start to move a little smoother. Yeah, exactly. CJ said the candles are too choppy and news is coming up, so I'm good on trading right now. Yeah, same here. Well, I don't even know if I'll take anything because I don't have enough screen space for me to open up my trade of 8 and and stuff like that. But yeah, if you guys are just joining in, guys, I took one trade over here pre-market. I almost never trade pre-market, but the time difference here in Punta Cana is 4 hour difference. So I've been awake since like 1 a.m. your guys' time. So I kind of just been on the charts, just looking, and I saw these entries, and I took one entry right here, and that's where I locked in at 6,500 on my accounts. Yeah, Christian said, yeah, backtest data for candles bigger than stop loss is a big no for me. Yeah, that's key right there. If you have that data and you understand like when these candles are huge, it's better to just sit out than to try to get lucky, right? Because you're kind of the cards are stacked against you if you're trading when it's like that. Typical Monday though. What do you guys call it? Manipulation Monday? Yeah, I would wait for these to here to calm down a little bit, guys. I mean, price is really just in a big range right now. It looks like price is pushing up, but the way I see it is price is kind of just ranging between the areas right here. We got a pretty decent range right now. Let's go to the clean chart actually. Clean chart might make a little more sense. Yeah, so looking at this over here, we have the big range. So the big range is between the 44,000 price right here and the 44,100. So it's a 100-point range. Right now, price is consolidating within the 50-point range. So this is a consolidation point right here. And this bigger area is like the full range. So we'll see if price breaks past this area. If it does, then great. We could look for some more buys. But yeah, I would just, I'd sit tight for a little bit right now, guys. I don't think it's worth the risk right now because you can see price is it's trying to get past here, the 44,100, but it's not having much luck. It pushes up, then it comes back down. And then looking over here, and I'll take a look at and I'm trying to move this zoom thing. Okay, I'm just gonna put zoom at the bottom because it's in the way of my tabs here. So looking over here at the market profile. So you can see the 1 minute market profile over here. It's still having trouble getting past that like zoned area that I marked up right here. Back it up a little bit. Okay. So you can see the zone area right here is at the value high. This means that price is in an area that is considered overpriced again. So like price here, whenever price gets near this area, see how it gets knocked right back down? That's possibly what can happen here. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to happen, but it's a possibility that can happen there. However, you can see here that price did finally break above it. So if price breaks above it and it stays right here and we have the rejection off the bottom end, then this could be okay for buys. Because if that's the case, then price could push up higher. I don't think there's any targets here on the 1 minute, but if we go over here to the 30 minute, there's going to be targets up here for price to push up to. We have a value high right there. We have point of control right here from previous days. And then we have more up here as well. So, I'm using a multiple time frame analysis here with market profile just to identify, confluences. Main confluences here are the bottom rejections. So we got the bottom rejection right there off the point of control. It's going to push up higher, possibly. We have the rejection right there. We don't have anything here on the clean chart yet, but if this does reject off here as well with this red candle, we'll have about like 3 confluences for rejections to the upside. And then looking over here at the overall time frames, like I said this morning, we tried to have some sort of bias, and I mentioned we'd have a bullish bias today because of the overall trend. And there's another confluence right there. So we have a confluence with an overall bias bullish trend. We have more confluences over here, rejection off the value high, rejection off the value high here on the 30-minute, and the rejection off the whole number right here, the 44,100 off the clean chart. So you put all those things together and you're like, okay, in that situation, I'm going to look for some buys here. But again, you have to wait for the retracement. The retracement hasn't happened here yet. Buyers have been in control since about 627, basically since market open. We want the sellers to kind of push down a little bit for retracement, meaning, we get a sell signal. And then once we get that sell signal there, we can possibly look for the continuation back to the upside, right? Push up, retrace, continuation up higher. And we do have news right here at 6:45. We have inflation news. So just keep that in mind, guys. High impact news event. It's probably gonna affect the direction. And we'll just see how market reacts to it. All right, let's just give it some time. There we go. Its price comes right back down. See how it, like I was telling you guys earlier, it basically faked out. It came up here to lure in some buyers. But when it gets to this value high area, this is considered overpriced. So like price is now coming back down to point of control, which is this black line. So that's why I use multiple confluences here to show you guys what might happen. So again, right here, price rejected off the value high. See what happens here? Pushes up, it rejects off it super hard, and now it's coming back down to this black line or this green box down here. So just something to look at and pay attention to. Again, like I said, guys, whenever you have a bias, don't get too caught up on having one bias. Your bias can change. Just because everything here is bullish with regard to the trend doesn't mean it's going to keep pushing up. So we'll keep waiting here. And then once we get a flip back to the upside, or I mean, we'll have to wait for news to pass here. If we get a flip back to the upside, we'll look for some buys. If price continues to drop lower, obviously we'll keep looking for some sells. So we got the news candle right here. Let me check the news real quick. News was, I don't know what's up with my FX book. It'll never loads on my end. Go to forex factory. Okay, so yeah, final manufacturing PMI was positive. So we had positive news right there. Price isn't reacting positive though. So this might be an initial drop and then maybe bounce off opening price and shoot back up. News was positive, and then we have another news event coming up right here at 7 o'clock. Again, inflation news. All right, so we got price coming down. So you guys see where I marked this up from the market profile? Target area is going to be right here, this black line. So, I mean, what might happen here is price might come down, bounce off that black line. And then the seller is going to get rid of their positions and probably push price back up. Market profile over here on the 30-minute. I mean, it's still rejecting off the lower end. So like we might get a push down and then maybe a push back up on the next 30-minute candle. So this candle has about 13 minutes left on it. Kind of depends on like how this thing closes. If it closes with a rejection off it, then it's probably going to, once the 30-minute candle closes, it's probably going to push back up. So it just kind of depends on how this candle closes. If it closes below, it might come back down lower and push down to the point of control. If it ends up closing with a rejection off it, then it might push back up to the value high. We're like pretty much in the middle right now. We're just in the middle of the market profile. Here's a clean chart. So again, I'll keep pulling up possible confluences. So if I'll go back to the clean chart here. I'll see if we get a break and retest off this whole number. And then continuation to the upside. We don't have that rejection here yet. We have this candle trying to break past it, but not a rejection. Right? Ideally, we want to see a rejection. So again, rejection right there. No rejections off here right now. Price is pushing back up. Let's go back to the clean chart. So as you guys can see, it's respecting the range that I marked up earlier. So I said the range is pretty much between this whole number right here, this whole number right here. So 44,000, 44,000 right here. It's kind of the range right now. I mean, it's respecting it pretty nice. You can see how price came down, bounced directly off it. It's basically a break and retest. Broke past it, retested, and now we'll see if it continues up higher. Otherwise, it's probably just going to keep bouncing within this area right here. Rejection off the upper end. It's tough trading around news time because you don't want to get caught in the manipulation. Obviously, you see how price pushed up right here. The news was positive, so it came down a little bit to lure in the sellers, and then it shot all the way back up with an engulfing candle right here. So we have the buyers in control. Sort of. They're sort of in control right now. Um, One thing that you could possibly look for is an MPS V2. So if this here climbs back up and closes above this black line right here, this will be an MPS V2. That's if it comes back up. If it doesn't come back up, then there's not going to be an MPS V2 there. So we'll kind of have to see how this here ends up pushing further. Yeah, Shivam said positive. Most likely to get the true breakout after the 3 p.m. news. Until then, grabbing everyone in the range. Yeah, exactly, Shivam. 100%. Like Shivam's pretty much spot on with his analysis there, like his way of seeing it. That's kind of what's happening here. It's just, the news is coming up and it's spiking in both directions, and it's basically liquidating everybody, right? Because unless your stop loss is super far out, most people don't have like wide stop losses. Like if your stop loss is 30 points, right? It's really easy to get stopped out because it's gonna like stop you out and then it'll come back in profit, and then you chase it the other way and it doesn't matter. Well, whichever direction you take it, 30-point range is not very much, especially because here, let's see. Yeah, the ATR right now is currently 33. So even if you're going for a 40-point TP stop loss, it's pretty much just it's going back and forth between this area. See how price goes up, and then it pretty much comes back down. So luring the sellers, wipe them out, luring the buyers, wipe them out, back and forth. This range right here is actually pretty big. Yeah, it's a 100-point range. So just be careful with your entries, guys. I mean, like I said, there's no need to force anything. This is like it's not a good area to trade in anyways. So looking at this so far, we got red flags down here. We have the news price, we have opening price, we have the sessions down here. So even if you wanted to take a sell down here, it's going to be tough because we do have the sell signal. But like I said, look how price is rejecting directly off these lines here. It's an area of manipulation. The Asia high is right there. It's exactly where it bounced off of. We got news in about 9 minutes. Some more high impact news in. Same data, basically inflation, just different inflation news. So let's see. Yeah, it's a choppy market. Are you getting into anything, Sam? I'm curious because I know you're always looking for those V1 entries. I mean, there's a couple good ones here. So like, if you could get the top area, like if you got this V1 engulfing right here, this would have been a nice drop. This one over here would have been okay, but I mean, depends on where your target would have been. It only pushed up 40 points. If you try to reach up to here, might have been screwed. But if you went for the 40 points right there, that would have been all right. So you guys can see there's a lot of volatility in the market, just not a lot of direction, right? It's ranging. So market opened up over here, 630, pushed up about 100 points, came back down 100 points, and now it's back at opening price right here. So price is now just sitting at the opening price right here, guys. Not much to work with, not much to take, nothing to do right now. It's just sitting around that area. What I like to see here, I would like to take buys. I wouldn't really want to take sells here because we're getting a lot of confluences from the bottom end, right? Rejection of opening price, rejection off the Asia high. On top of that, we have the overall bullish trend, right? The 4 hours bullish, 1 hour is bullish, 30 minutes bullish, um, 10 minutes bullish, 5 minutes bullish, 1 minute is trying to be bullish. So we have a lot of things pointing towards buys here. You just have to wait for your proper opportunity for entry. So my bias for today or at this moment is still looking for buys. We have a possible buy signal here closing. This could start to set up for an MPS V2. We have a nice rejection right here off the point of control. So you guys look at the confluences now. 1 minute market profile, rejection off the point of control. 30-minute market profile, rejection off the point of control. Here's the clean chart. I'm going to just make it clean again. Rejection right here off the whole number, the 44,000 price. And looking at the SR over here, it's rejecting off the support. So buys are looking good here. You just have to wait for that actual entry to come up. Hey, Brock, morning. Yeah, I know. It's good to be on the live again. I took these MPSs here pre-market, Brock. Market's been kind of crazy since open right here. Very choppy, very whipsaw. I took this one here pre-market, went straight to TP with no drawdown. So that was a smooth move for me right there. Looking for this MPS here to set up pending buy signal right there. So if it closes, possibility, but it's going to be right at the news price. And then also we have more news right here at 7 o'clock in about 5 minutes. These candles are kind of violent. You see how these this thing here just spiked down real quick. That's why it's tough to get these entries because it's so easy to just get spiked out like that. All right, still no buy signal, guys. So bias right now is still looking like a possible buy, but so I'll put the sellers kind of in like slightly in control right here, and the buyers possibly back in control right here. It's a messy day. ATR is currently at 36 right now, so it's a little high on the higher side. Yeah, CJ said looks like people are in the market but are waiting until after news to make the move. Yeah, I agree. It's easy to get wiped out here. Dang, look at this huge candle right here. So look at the 30 minutes. So like I said, we were waiting for this 30-minute candle to close, right? This candle was way up here like, a couple minutes ago. So it dropped about like almost 100 points. Yeah, over 100 points. Like I said, this is going to be a deciding factor as to like with the direction of price. Because if this here doesn't reject off the bottom end and it rejects off the top end right here, then price is likely to keep dropping to the point of control. So this candle has about like 3 minutes left on it. Once this candle closes, you kind of want to see where the rejections happen. Is the rejection happening from the top? Is rejection happening from the bottom? Because if it's from the top, then it's probably going to come down here, maybe bounce off here and come back up, or it can break and retest the point of control and come lower to the value low. So you guys just look to see you want to find clues in the market. Not necessarily don't follow it blindly, but look for clues. So I think we would have to wait for this here to I would basically probably just wait until the news. That's probably the best case scenario. Because it's high impact news happening right here. It looks like price came down and grabbed liquidity. Yeah, Stern said that Nasdaq jumped too. So something must have been released that caused the push to the downside. Unless people are just reacting to the news from earlier. Basically the buyers pushed price up a little bit and then it came right back down. They didn't push it up very far. candles are pretty big. They're not as big anymore though, but the ATR is very high. It's almost at 40. So if you guys are taking trades, you might want to adjust your TP stop loss. Instead of using a 20-30, you might want to use like a 40-40 or maybe even a 50-50. Kind of just depends on like the consistency of these candles. Because each candle here is pretty big. Like if your stop loss is 30 points, I mean, it kind of just depends on which direction you're taking it. There's an MPS V2 that actually came up right here. I just realized it. The sell signal came up right here, and this red candle closed below it. So there was an MPS V2 that came here that had like almost little to no drawdown. And it looks like it went straight down. So like, if you were to do a 30-30 instead of a 20-20, it'd probably be better. Or if you did a 40-40 as well. You kind of just got to play by ear because the thing is, these candles are huge. So like if you did a 40-40 here, you'd still be in the position. It wouldn't hit your TP right away, but it looks like it's going to hit. We do have the news right here coming up as well. Yeah, exactly. Brock said ate the liquidity right there. Came down, grabbed liquidity, and it's still going to finish it off. There you go. So like I said earlier, if you had that 40 point right there, instead of doing the 20-30, you could do a 40-40 because the ATR is a little high. You'll have the same damn huge candle right there. Yeah, that thing is it's a crazy candle. See how big that thing dropped. Damn, it's still dropping. This is why you want to be careful trading news. Went right through the sessions. So we'll see if it holds. Now that price is below this point, let's see if it holds. It might hold, might not hold. I mean, it's a huge candle, though. Normally you don't get these types of movements for the inflation news, guys. I mean, let me check CNBC. Maybe there's something that's happening that I'm just not aware of. Stocks waiver is new month as Nvidia shares slide. So I see some news over here from Nvidia. Obviously, that's in YM. That's probably why YM and NQ dumped because of Nvidia. I mean, it's not like super bad, but yeah, they're down 5%. All right, so with that stuff aside, it doesn't really matter because the news, obviously, price is going to react to the news. So now we have to see what happens after this. Now we got to see if price holds. If it stays below this area, then great. Maybe we could start looking for some sells. But if it doesn't and it pushes back up, then we'll be back looking for some buys. Looking at the clean chart, the range is probably super wide now. Looking at this, so like I said earlier, guys, looking at the market profile, it did exactly what we just talked about, right? I said if it rejects off here and it closes below, we won't have that lower rejection anymore, right? So since we don't have that lower rejection, look where price pushed down to. I said the first area is going to be the point of control, and then the value lows. Now price is cheap, right? This is considered a value price. So like this is where people buy the dip. Um, so you again, you'd have to see how this candle here closes because the next 30-minute candle, if it rejects off the value low, it's going to push back up because like I said, this is the value low. So this is kind of where value price is. This is where people consider YM to be cheap and they want to buy the dip here. But it doesn't have to be that way, right? If it doesn't end up closing with the rejection and it closes below it, then there's going to be other targets down here, right? It can go even further. So just a couple things to keep in mind. If it does reject off here, which it's currently rejecting, we'll keep an eye out for that. That's the only rejection we can kind of see right now. Rejection off that point, the 1 minute as well. So again, the 1 minute over here, it's rejecting off the point of control down below. And again, if it continues to climb back up, then it's going to come back to the point of control. So if we get a rejection there and we get a rejection right here, possible continuation of higher. Gotta wait and see. Nice. Aiden said she caught the news candle for a quick 100 points. Solid. That's good. Yeah. Good move there. I mean, we were already looking for sells at that point. I just wasn't sure what the news was going to turn out. Let's see. So I'm looking at the news. Yeah, the news was negative. It wasn't like crazy negative, but it was negative. So the 7 o'clock news was negative. 6:45 news was positive. That's pretty much all the news for today. We got more news a little later at 8:30. It's low impact stuff, 3 month bill auction, 6 month bill auction. And then we have the Fed speaking later at 6:35. So get back to the and I hate how this thing is always in the way. I was trying to get back to my thing. Okay, so back to the charts over here. Um, all right, so let's see. Price is currently pushing back up. Like I said earlier, look for that correction. But now that it's back up here, this is a whole red flag area. So like the buys are going to be almost impossible to take around here. We'd have to wait for price to push above this area and then look for some entries up here. Or if it stays below and it doesn't actually push up any higher, then we'll look for price to reject off, any of these red flags and then possibly come back down further. But we do have the sellers in control right here. Okay, so I'm starting to like how the market is now moving, right? Because if you look over here, we had a lot of back and forth, right? Price pushed up, price pushed down, a lot of choppiness right here. Now we're starting to get more of a smoother push. Like we have price pushing down, and then we have price pushing back up from right here, right? There's a little bit of some gap in between of these, the swings. So we want price to kind of swing down, swing up, swing back down, or swing down, swing up, continuation. Just kind of depends on like what the market gives us, but it's a little bit of a crazy Monday today with the price movement. All right, so we're back at the point of control, guys. Like I said earlier, rejection off the value low. This is where people buy the dip usually. Price pretty much pushed up, dip bought, back to the point of control. Now that we're at the point of control, one of two things will happen. Price will either push up to the value high or push back down to the value low. Right? Lots of different opportunities here. Again, with this candle here, like I said before, guys, look for the rejection. And that rejection kind of it gives you the idea of like, okay, what am I going to focus on, buys or sells here? We have a rejection off the 30-minute candle right here off the value low. We have a rejection off the value low right here as well. But if this rejects off the point of control, then it invalidates it. Now at this point, we're like, okay, now we're going to switch back to sells. Buys are okay here. Do we switch back to sells? We have to wait to confirm. Going over here to the clean chart. So clean chart over here, we have a rejection off the whole number down here. Right? We have a rejection off the 43,900. And we have a rejection from down here, 43,850. Rejection. Right here off YM, we have the rejection right there as well off the value low, pushing back up higher. So the buyers are looking good right now. The only problem here is that we're stuck in this whole area of red flags. So, if we do have an MPS V2, I'll mark it up for you guys, but you guys already know what my game plan is. I don't take trades around the red flags. So it's up to you guys if you guys want to take trades around those areas, but I will mark them up so that you guys have an idea or you guys have some sort of opportunities to get into positions. I would consider it risky though. So, take them at your own risk. Buy signal didn't close yet, so we got to wait. We now have some rejections off the top end. So rejections right here were relevant before. If this becomes the case, then these are now irrelevant, and now we're going to look for price to possibly come back down from here. So this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see price push up to the value high here, and then we can get that rejection. So we have the confirmation on the 30-minute that sells might be valid. Right now, we don't have that yet. We just have a rejection from the bottom end. So looking at this here now, the analysis kind of conflicts. Lower time frames are showing sellers pushing price down from this point. The higher time frame still shows that the buyers are pushing price from up here. So, it's a multi-time frame analysis. Looking over here at the trend, the trend here is still pretty bullish across the board. Actually, the lower time frames are bearish. The middle to high time frames are bullish still. So it's kind of mixed. Lower time frames are going toward the downside, and the higher time frames are going towards the upside. So this is where you kind of have to choose a side. You want to go with the shorter time frames, you want to go with the higher time frames. But I'll use other confluences here to kind of sway my bias, right? We have a rejection right there. We have a rejection right there. So at this point, I think there's enough confluences to possibly look for sells here because we have lower time frames that are bearish. We have rejection off news price right there. The only problem is that we're not going to get a sell signal because the sell signal is still here. We need to get a buy signal first before it resets. At this point, I mean, you can take these entries here for here, let's see. So we had an MPS right here. This here is so it's at a red flag, but this would be considered an A plus setup. It's at the sessions though, so it's kind of tricky, but this would be considered an A plus setup because we had the MPS V2 come up right here, which was at the sessions. We had sorry guys, 1 second. All right, guys. So I gotta check out. Just realized it's 11 o'clock here right now. So I'm gonna try to get up back online in the lobby. If not, I'll try to get in touch with you guys on the Discord, but I think I can maybe get some Wi-Fi in the lobby. But yeah, guys, I'll try to get back on in a few because I got nothing else to do for like the next hour. But I'm gonna have to get off right now, guys. So if you guys have any questions, hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, I'll try to get back on in a few minutes. I just gotta go check out. So probably in the next 30 minutes, I'll get back on, and then we can maybe go for a later session today. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys in a little bit. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Sorry for the abrupt end of our live session, but I got to check out. So, all right, guys.